Every Manchester United supporter knows the summer ritual. A new player arrives. Within a week, somebody has made a graphic showing he can play in 4 positions. By October, nobody can agree which one is actually his. That is why versatile should make United fans nervous. Here, it has occasionally sounded less like a plan and more like a missing instruction manual. Under Michael Carrick, it may finally mean something precise. A player whose second job genuinely changes what United can do. This season will tell us whether that is clever squad building or another way of papering over a gap. Carrick's United had one enormous advantage last season: time. With no European football and an early exit from both domestic cups, they played only 40 matches. Fan discussions kept returning to the same caveat. It is one thing to prepare this team with a clear week, quite another when Wednesday night in Europe is followed by Saturday lunchtime in Manchester. Now Champions League football is back. Rotation stops being a theory and becomes part of the job. United can buy a replacement for every position. Expensive, bloated, usually unhappy, or they can find players who cover 2 jobs without the level dropping through the floor. Carrick has already tested that idea on the pitch. Bryan Mbeumo is the obvious example. He arrived with the habits of a right-sided forward. Begin outside, attack the channel, arrive where a striker finishes. Carrick simply moved the starting point. Mbeumo played as the lone centre-forward in Carrick's first 3 league matches. He was also used from the left. Across Carrick's first 5 games, he produced 3 goals and an assist. 2 of those goals came while he was playing through the middle. The important bit is not the position label, it is what survived the move. His timing still threatened the space behind. His finishing traveled with him. And when he dropped towards Bruno Fernandes, he could connect the attack rather than wait between 2 centre-backs. This is useful versatility. The role changes, but the player's best qualities do not disappear. There is a cost. Of course. Every minute Mbeumo spends at number 9 is a minute United lose one of their most dangerous options on the right. The second job only helps if somebody can cover the first. Patrick Dorg makes the theory much easier to see. The Premier League has reclassified him in fantasy from a defender to a midfielder for 2026-27. That is an administrative label, not a tactical revelation, but it reflects what Carrick actually did. After game week 22, Dorgu started 3 times on the left wing. He scored in all 3. The goals caught the eye. His movement explained them. From fullback, Dorgu often receives the ball with the whole pitch in front of him. Carrick pushed him higher, where he could make curved runs inside while defenders were still watching United's central forwards. He was no longer being asked to create every attack. He could finish one. 3 starts are not a career change. Premier League defenders will adjust, and Dorg is still raw enough to produce both excitement and mild panic in the same passage of play. But Carrick found a second job that amplified an existing strength. He did not invent a new player. There are actually 2 kinds of versatility here. Youri Tielemans, now a confirmed United player, offers different roles within midfield. He can begin a move from deep, break a line with his passing, or operate higher and thread the final ball. Same broad position, different responsibility. Miles Lewis-Skelly is the other kind. Sky Sports has reported United interest, and that distinction matters. He is a reported target, not a Manchester United player, but his profile makes the idea visible. Lewis-Skelly grew up as a central midfielder, broke through as an inverted left-back, and returned to midfield for Arsenal last season. That is positional flexibility. One player can occupy the left-back slot without leaving midfield a man short when United have the ball. The report does not prove a Carrick transfer policy. A name on a list is sometimes barely an afternoon's gossip. Combine that profile with Mbeumo and Dorgu, and a pattern becomes plausible. United appear interested in players who let the shape change without a substitution. For a Champions League squad, The attraction is obvious. Mbeumo can cover the striker without United keeping an expensive forward permanently on the bench. Dorgu can give the attack natural width and still return to fullback when the match demands it. A midfielder who performs as a 6 and an 8 can change the balance around Bruno without changing the personnel. It also makes preparation less fragile. Carrick can move from a 4-2-3-1 into a narrower attacking shape using players who already understand one another's movements. In theory, one squad slot solves two problems, but English football has a useful phrase for players like this. They can do a job. The dangerous part is forgetting to ask how well. Because versatility has a tax. If Dorgu becomes the left-wing cover, United may still need a left-back the moment Luke Shaw is unavailable. If Mbeumo covers centre-forward, the right side loses its best proven scorer. And a midfielder who can play both 6 and 8 is not automatically the specialist ball winner United need when a match becomes ugly. Their confirmed business quietly acknowledges this. Andre Santos is interesting because his job is unusually clear. Win the ball, resist pressure, and move it forward. In the 2025-26 Premier League, he had the best ground duel success rate among midfielders who played at least 1,000 minutes, while completing more than 90% of his passes. Tielemans can provide invention. Santos provides the platform. Different qualities, properly separated. A good squad is not 11 Swiss Army knives. It needs specialists with a few genuinely flexible players around them. Otherwise, versatility becomes the word clubs use when they have not fixed the position at all. So the evidence is strong that Carrick values flexible use of the players he already has. The recruitment evidence is more suggestive than conclusive, and it should be described that way. The real test will not arrive on a tactics board in August. It will arrive after an away match in Europe, when legs are heavy, training has been recovery work, and Carrick needs Dorgu to change position or Mbeumo to lead the line with almost no rehearsal. Last season, Carrick could solve one match at a time. This season, he has to build a squad that can solve the next one before the previous game has left their legs. That is when a second job becomes valuable or gets found out. Carrick may be building a more flexible Manchester United. Mbeumo and Dorgu suggest the idea already works. Tielemans, Santos, and the profile of reported targets suggest it may shape the squad as well. But a second position only counts when the player can still perform it with heavy legs and one training session. Otherwise, it is not versatility. It is a gap wearing a player's shirt. Which United player genuinely passes that test?